Hi, welcome back. It's Laura again over here at Hyperstamper. I just finished today's antique junk journal and it's been a while since I've done a fairy journal, so I put one together. These are my most popular journals and I apologize that I can't make more, but it takes a while to collect enough ephemera to fill one because you know my policy is I try to fill every page with the themes of the journal I'm making. So this one here, I used a book from 1931 called Nature by Night. And because it has this beautiful nighttime forest picture on the cover, I added this beautiful nighttime fairy image from 1927 through Fairy Halls. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I left the poem inside that was written by Eugene Field, 1910 Fairy and Child. And I added these beautiful authentic vintage beads down the side and this gorgeous antique crochet doily down here. And I really, really love it. And I hope you love it too. Look at that picture that continues on to the back. Oh, it's so wonderful. So let's look at all the fairy themed ephemera inside. It's all authentic. But right off the bat, I want to show you this unbelievable little bonus here. I got this image here from this vintage Flower Fairies album. And of course, this is Cecily Ann Barker's work. These are not reproductions. Well, they are, but they're not modern ones. They are truly vintage. And I chose this one here because it's just darling. Look at this burdock fairy, and he's the fairy that sticks to everybody because he's got these burrs, and he's just adorable. So I just filled the pages here with authentic antique and vintage ephemera as well. Not fairy themed, but it's just a little bonus journal in here, and it's just absolutely precious, and I hope you love it. So it's a little bonus. Look at that. It's a journal in a journal. Original first pages of the book here, and this sweet little I want to say it's 1905 piece from a children's school book. It's got Little Miss Muffet here, and she's surrounded herself with all the different nursery rhymes, including these fairies at the top. This is one of those journals where you get to find the fairies because they're sort of hidden everywhere. I just have a little paperclip toggle there. And then this, I didn't want to separate these because this is a really sweet story. And it is, sorry, let me get this open here, the Moonbeam Fairies. And you can see the moon here. Look at these beautiful little moonbeam fairies. Aren't they wonderful? And then I put it here because this is a page from a 1920s book as well, but a different children's book, and it's the Moon Fairy. So I wanted those two to be together. I thought it was a good little theme. And here's the little fairy man story here. I did not cover it up in case somebody would like to read it. And this also came from a 1927 My Book House series book, and we've got all the beautiful fairies here. Look at these beautiful blue-winged fairies with the butterfly wings. Aren't they gorgeous? The mushrooms, the owls, just stunning through Fairy Halls. And then this is from another children's book, and it's the fairy music. So I actually wanted to include that. You can see the little fairy here as well, hiding in the flowers with her little butterfly wings. So I added a butterfly here and just some antique paper to cover up plain text. Beautiful cluster here. And this is actually a beautiful original page from this book. Beautiful big blank pages so you can journal on it. Now this one here is just from a vintage nature book, and I chose it because it's got these beautiful forest trees in here, and I think because fairies live in the forest, that was a perfect addition to that. And then look at this one here from another different kind of children's book. I've used about 10 or 12 different books to pull fairies from, and my heart always skips a beat when I find a fairy in a book. Now this is here just a little waterfall journaling spot, and I just put an antique ticket on there to make it fun. And flowers here and there made of antique paper as well. It's another original page of the book. And then this here came from a Butterflies of North America book that I have, and I love it. And because these fairies all seem to have butterfly wings, I thought that was perfect. And the pocket here is made with another little fairy image there as well. This is from a very old book, early 1900s. So you've got these little elf fairies, a different kind of fairy there. They're absolutely beautiful, and a little story that goes with it, Sally Mae Blossom and the Pixies. Wonderful. Now I got this Wildflowers of America vintage page here, and I just chose it because you always see fairies with flowers and fields. So I wanted to include, I love to include flowers in every single journal. So I thought that was the prettiest one because fairies are so pretty. Now this down here is a unicorn from a book cover, an antique book cover, a dust jacket, as you may know it. And because unicorns and fairies and mermaids are sort of the trifecta of enchantment, this is a 1950s receipt just for journaling on as well. And I love it. More trim here. And this is the opposite side of this one here that says the fairy who judged her neighbor. And you can see those beautiful fairies there. And this is a page from an antique plants and flowers book that I have, and it's on mushrooms. Because, you know, fairies and mushrooms are just go together. This beautiful antique library plate for the front of your book is from this antique box of butterfly. I'm getting low on them. It's going to make me sad when they're gone. But that is extremely old, and it's hard for me to part with them. But this belongs in a fairy journal, absolutely. And I made a tag there out of a book cover. And although these aren't fairies, they're so pretty and adorable. They just had to go in here. Ace of Clubs. And then this is another little beautiful flower. It looked like nighttime to go with the nighttime fairy theme that I have going here. And I just love it. It's a little tobacco card. And these are actually quite rare and valuable, the flower ones. This is a gorgeous piece of antique embroidery, or sorry, vintage embroidery. I don't believe it's more than 100 years old. And it just makes a beautiful page. And some wonderful little child over the last 100 years colored in this lovely page of these two fairies with a story called The Snowdrop. Continues on here, but isn't that lovely? Now this here is probably the best plate in the book, I think, because this came from the beautiful, beautiful 1925 book with the illustrations of all the different fairies. And these are the Cloud Maker fairies. You can see their beautiful wings here. And you can Google that. It's actually quite a rare piece. So I didn't do anything to it. Somebody could cut that off and frame it if they liked. And it's just very, very special, 1920s. Just a little fun cluster there with an antique fastener card on it. More little elves here, which is really, really fun. And here and here. And then in this pocket, that is a vintage embroidery rose and leaves there. And look at this gorgeous postcard from 1912. And I chose that as well because we've got the whole pink flower fairy theme going on this side. And then this is a little story about a fairy house. So I put antique paper on the back, and then we've got the elves on the other side. It's just awesome. I'm so happy. Now this here just reminded me of a friend that a fairy might have, because he's got his little leaf umbrella. And that actually came from The Tale of Johnny Town Mouse from the 1930s. It's Beatrix Potter plate. And on the other side, look at how cute is that. That's just adorable. And then this is a page from a 1927 book, Through the Fairy Halls, with that beautiful fairy image there as well. And you can journal on there. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, sorry, this, I'm a liar. This one's a 1971 version. I have about 6 different series of them, starting from the 20s all the way up to that would be the 70s there. Up one pair of stairs. This one is actually from the 20s. I can tell by the foxing on the paper. The card topper. And although this is not fairy themed, again, it has those beautiful flowers that a fairy would just love. And it's actually with love to Mother. It's a beautiful Mother's Day card. And this is from the 1940s. Beautiful. And I put that in here. Sorry, made a little pocket here and a flip out that you can journal on both sides there. Another wonderful little elf here. And look at this from a Child's Garden of Verses. Look at that beautiful set of fairies here in the garden. And up here, it's fun to find all the different fairies in this picture. It's so precious. I love it. Another one of these fun little brownies, pixies. And look at that. How awesome is this? I love this image with the little fairy flying off in the rain with the mushroom umbrella. Love it. This is a little poem here about the fairies know everyone. And that brings us to the end. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making this one. Hyperstamper.etsy.com to see all the journals in my Etsy shop. And don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.